Monumental poles are more than just art. They hold histories, they mark events, and they tell stories.
Hawata Gwaii Tlokels on Singan. Hawata Gwaii Gin Henenga Wadluwan Good Kidini.
This pole that we're working on here is 42 feet, and it tells many different stories from the Gwaii Haanas area. It also represents the 20th anniversary of the agreement between the Haïda Nation and Canada to protect Gwaii Haanas from mountaintop to seafloor.
SGang Gwaay Hawasa Gwaii Hatke Danga Gusus Kilu Danga Danga Sanjada Danga Gusus Lugut Gustia.
When I was a little kid, my dad was always carving. He was working on canoes, working on a totem pole right in our house. And as I grew up, I started to realize how fortunate I was to be able to grow up around that and learn from that. In the old days, the poles used to line the villages. There'd be dozens in front of every village. And in the early 1900s, missionaries were coming and encouraging the people to cut down the poles, and collectors were coming in and taking them. So it's really nice to be part of the bringing back of the poles to Gwaii Haanas. When we're walking through the forest looking for a cedar to be used for a totem pole or canoe, it's pretty neat feeling, because the same features that we're looking for in the forest are the same things that my ancestors were looking for 5,000 years ago, and they are walking through the same forests. The pole that we're working on is the first pole to go up in 130 years in Gwaii Haanas, and this feature right here shows the Hlk'yah GawGa blockade. What happened was there's a blockade in the early 1980s, and that stopped the logging and protected Gwaii Haanas for future generations. It was important for me to put the story of Hlk'yah GawGa on the pole. And a lot of people put in a lot of work to create Gwaii Haanas. This is the old story of how earthquakes happen on haïda Gwaii. The figure is Sacred One standing and moving, and as he moves, that's when haïda Gwaii shakes and causes the earthquakes. I put this on because after I started carving the pole, we had a major earthquake on haïda Gwaii, and the water in our hot springs down in Gwaii Haanas actually stopped flowing to the pools. This figure here is a watchman. A lot of haïda poles have watchmen on the top, but I wanted to include this because we have the Gwaii Haanas watchmen, and they look after the old village sites, and they educate the people who come to visit. So it's really gratifying to be carving this pole, and it shows that our way of life continues. Things change, but the meaning behind what we do stays the same.